going to be teaching you how to make some shakes. So let's start. So right now in my composition, I just have a clip with a zoom out transition because I usually pair my shakes with zoom out transitions. So I have that. And there are 3 types of shakes I'm going to teach you how to make. The first one will be using transform, and I'll be showing X and Y shakes. I don't really know, I don't use rotation shakes that much, or like the diagonal shakes. I'm quite bad at them, so I'll only be teaching you X and Y shakes in these 3 forms. So first with transform, you want to make sure you have motion blur on over here. And if you have After Effects 2020, it'll automatically switch on over here, but if you don't, you're going to have to make sure to switch on the general motion blur thing for your entire composition as well as for the individual clip. So when you have that, you want to click P on your keyboard, and you have 2 values here, 540, 540, because my composition size is 1080 pixels x 1080 pixels. So I'll start with an X shake. First, I'm gonna keyframe position at the beginning of the clip. Move it either to the left or the right. And I'm not gonna move it too much. The amount you move it will depend on your composition size. So I'm only gonna move it around that much. And okay, wait, before you do this, you have to remember to put motion blur, motion tile. So I added motion tile, but it is a preset. I have it saved as a preset. So just when you add it, make sure your settings are 300 for the output and output height and width, and also make sure mirror tiles is turned on. So now that I've moved the clip this much to the left, I'm gonna go forward maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. Move it like this, and then move around 7 frames and bring it back to the center. So once you've keyframed all your values, make sure to select all the keyframes and easy ease them. You can either do this by pressing F9 on your keyboard or double clicking the keyframes, going to keyframe assistant and then easy ease. I didn't explain that here because I'm so used to just pressing F9 to easy ease it, so yeah. So now I'm going to teach you how to do a Y shake, or a vertical shake. So now keyframe the position again and move the second value up or down. I'm going to move it up because usually I like my vertical shakes to start moving up, down, and then towards the center, if that makes sense. So I'll have it go up, move 5 frames, make it go down, and then 540. So the important thing is that makes the shake is making sure you easy ease the keyframes. So this is how a vertical shake would look. So now I will be teaching you how to do horizontal and vertical shakes but using Asplumber curves, which for this you do need the Sapphire plugin. So yeah. To do this effect, first go to effects and presets and search S_blur more curves and drag it onto your clip. I didn't show that here because I already had it on my clip. So I'll first do horizontal again. I'm gonna where it says wrap X, I'm gonna change it to reflect. So this is basically an alternative to motion tile because motion tile doesn't really work that well with blur more curves. Like you'll see some black spots. So it's easy to just tile the clip in blur more curves using wrap X, and I'm doing reflect. So then you now want to keyframe Shift X and again move it to the right or the left. I usually move it to the left, so I'm going to move it to the left by -100 over here, go 5 frames again, move it to about 80, and then 7-8 frames later back to 0. So this is the same concept as doing it with transform, but the difference is blur-mo curves just makes the transitions look a bit smoother. So I usually prefer making my shakes in blur-mo curves. So this is how it looks now. Okay, that last thing is too long. So when you're watching it, relative to the clip, you have to make sure to place the keyframes, you know, an appropriate length apart, width apart, I don't know what to say. So usually I like having the first two be quite together and then the last one goes a bit further, but I think this is too far, it's more than 10. So, okay. So now the X shake will look a bit like this, but it isn't looking too good. Okay. So this is one way you could do it, or see, now I've started with it from the left side, so maybe try making it go from the right. When go to the second one, make that -80 and then 0. So this is just the same shake but mirrored. So this is how you do an X shake. So let's change that back to 0 and keyframe it. Okay, now I'll be teaching you, oh my god, I'm starting everything with now I'll be teaching you. Stop. So now onto the Y shake. You want to go to wrap Y and change that to reflect. And then shift Y here, keyframe that. And then move it up or down. I usually like to start with the clip moving, like I said earlier, down, up, and then center. So I'll start with it on 120, go 5 frames, or maybe 4 this time, and then do -100, and then go to the 10th frame and make it 0. So you want to make sure you ease the keyframe, and then that looks bad. Okay, I did the opposite of what I usually do. So I think I don't particularly like how the shake looks, because it's going from down, up, center, which is the opposite of what I said I like. Yeah, or I said the wrong thing. So if you like the shakes looking like this, you can make it go from positive to a negative number and then to 0. But I don't prefer this, so I'm going to make it negative at 120 and then 100 and then 0. So this was much better in my opinion. It's a bit harsh, I think, so I'm going to make this maybe 70 instead. So that's how it'll look now. Okay, now on to making a shake using S Shake, which is, again, for this you do need the Sapphire plugin. So if you have that, go to Effects and Presets and search S_shake, and you'll have it here. Just add it to your clip. Oops. Now drag it over and add it to your clip. And there is a preset, like when you add it, your clip will look like this. So we're going to remove all this and put our own settings. So again, okay. Now what you want to do first is go to Tilt Shake. Okay, that's already on 0. Go to Y Shake and put it on 0 right now, because we'll start with an X Shake. So the X shake right now is the X random amplitude is on 192, so we can leave it at that. You want to switch on motion blur over here and maybe change the length to 2. And then to actually make the shake, keyframe amplitude, go towards where you want the shake to end and change it to 0. And then you can ease it. So this is how it'll look. This is for much more of a short, jittery shake. That's what I like to call it. It's very fast. If you want it to be bigger, you can increase the amplitude of the first keyframe from 1 to maybe 2. So it'll be much shakier. I don't know what to say. So it'll look like this, but I prefer to have it at 1. And sometimes I'll go into my graphs and edit the speed graph to make it, I don't know, I'll just, I'll play with the speed graph a bit and see how it looks. So this gives a very small shake. If you change the speed graph, this is how it looks normally. And if you want, you can change the phase if you want to change where the shake starts. So this is, yeah, you can just play with these numbers. They're all relatively small, like any change will give a big change. Any change in these numbers will result in like a very obvious change to what you see. So you can play around with these numbers and see what you like. So this is what you do for an X shake. And then now, if you want to make a Y shake, you can simply, oh my god, you can simply put the X random amplitude to 0 and go down to Y shake and put it up to, again, I forgot what it was, but you know, try 100 and then see how it looks. That's really small. So maybe 192 again. So that's better. That's more of a Y vertical shake. So S shake is really easy once you know how to do it. You just have to make sure to, you know, play with these values. Make sure you turn on motion blur, and you can adjust the motion blur length. You don't want it to be too high. Like if you make it higher, it'll only look smoother, but I don't know. So I usually like having it at 2. And then you can just change the Y amplitude and then the X amplitude as well. So yeah. Oh, I don't know. I hate doing this. Okay. So I'll try to get it for free. I don't know if it's free or not. Shit. Okay. Okay. I need water. Yay, okay. So now oh, stop clapping. So now I will, wait, let me move my hair so it doesn't brush up against the mic again.